This is Jamie Drummond for Good Food Revolution. I'm here with Gerhard Swart.
That's good, yeah.
Okay. At Crush Wine Bar in Toronto, and this gentleman is the winemaker at Flagstone Winery from South Africa. And we've just been tasting through a number of this gentleman's wines. I'm scared to say your name again, that's why.
That's fine.
So tell me a little bit about Flagstone. I've seen a couple of their wines before, but when did you become involved in Flagstone, and what is it that you do there?
Well, Flagstone, I've become involved since 2008 vintage in Flagstone, and I'm the winemaker for Flagstone. We're a small premium producer in South Africa. We produce about 400 tons of grapes, so that equates to about 20,000 cases of wine. Top premium wines, we do Sauvignon Blanc, we do Viognier, we do Shiraz, Cabernet and a Pinotage. We're very well known in South Africa with our premium wines, and something unique about us, we situated in a dynamite factory that we converted into a winery. The building is a national monument, and it's built in 1901.
Now, how long have you yourself been involved in the wine industry?
I've been making wine since 1999, and I've had a vintage in California and also a vintage in France. And since 2007 I've been involved in Constellation wines.
So, since 1999, what kind of changes have you seen in the South African wine industry?
Well, I think a lot of the producers understand at the moment that South Africa is a small country. We don't have enough water to go for big production levels. So the only thing that South Africa can do is quality wine. So that's the main focus. The last 10 years is focused on quality.
Now, where do you think South Africa fits on the world stage when it comes to wine production? Are you looking at the ultra premiums? Are you looking at the mid-level wines? Or are you looking at very much the entry-level wines? I'm talking about the South African wine industry as a whole here.
Yeah. Well, I think we can service all three different markets. We've got some volume to do the entry level, although not big enough to be in everything. We've got the medium price level. I think we've got very good value for money, and we're beginning to bring out really premium wines that I think is very good quality wines.
Regarding grape varietals, there are a couple of those that are synonymous with South Africa the world over, namely Pinotage and Chenin Blanc. What do you think of those two varietals, and which other varietals do you feel South Africa is capable of doing very well with?
Well, firstly, Chenin Blanc, it's planted most widely in South Africa. So we've got a lot of old vineyards that's producing top quality fruit. So Chenin Blanc is something that I think that South Africa must make their own and be making top quality wines and distribute throughout the world, and see that as one of our own varietals. Pinotage, that is owned of South Africa. I think we've come a long way with Pinotage, and a lot of the guys has done a lot of good work with Pinotage over the last 10 years. And other varietals, Sauvignon Blanc, I think we can still give the Australians a little bit of run for their money.
The Australians or the New Zealanders?
Australians and the New Zealanders. We're sitting in between, I think, of the old world and the new world. We don't have that overly powerful wines like you get in New Zealand. But I don't think that's the style of wine that we want to make. We want to make a wine that's owned from South Africa. And then Shiraz, that's another varietal that I think South Africa can do very good. And there's some new varietals coming through, one of them being Malbec, that I think we can be doing great work with.
Now, Pinotage comes in for a lot of criticism from many wine writers, wine journalists from all over the world. And I think in some cases, some of the examples of Pinotage that we have seen have been less than stellar. What makes a good South African Pinotage to you?
I think the main thing for Pinotage is, if you look at the grape variety, it's prone to overcrop. So if it's not planted on the right terroir, on the right site, if it's overcropped, then you're not going to be able to make a good wine out of it. The wine that you'll be tasting today also is the Writersblok Pinotage. That's grown on altitude of about 600 meters. It's on poor soils. We're cropping about 8 tons per hectare. And then as a winemaker, you need to understand how to work with the grape.
Many of my friends, not always the greatest experts in wine, but many friends have mentioned that there's a certain funk or smell that comes from South African reds in particular. And they ask me what this comes from, and I've had various answers for them over my years working in wine. That particular smell that I'm speaking of, what do you believe that comes from?
Well, I've had the question earlier today, and I believe that maybe the wines that's been tasted comes from bad winemaking, old cellars that's not hygienically clean. Because the South African industry is about 350 years old, there's some family-owned cellars that's very old. If you're looking at the new brands coming onto the market, I think and I believe that that criticism that South African wine has been getting will be going away as soon as they start tasting the new wines that's coming through.
That's fascinating. That's actually a good thing to hear. Thank you very much for joining us at Good Food Revolution this afternoon. I have one last question for you before we say goodbye, and that is, coming from South Africa, what does good food mean to you? Now remember, wine is food.
Yeah. Good food means for me enjoyment. Enjoyment with my friends, having fun, enjoying wine and enjoying the barbecue.
As I said, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, Jamie.